SEC play, averaging 25 points per game. And yeah, Kyra Elzy wants Ryan Howard to break a sweat today and get after it against Tennessee. Lady Volunteers will start off with the basketball, coming off another rivalry game against UConn, a close one on Thursday here in Knoxville. There's Ray Burrell going to the basket. She has been so key for Tennessee this year.
She was this player that came off the bench for the majority of last season, then moved into the starting lineup the last 9 games. She has been a starter ever since, but she has been very aggressive and offensive-minded, and right there caused Ryan Howard to pick up her first foul.
Definitely something to keep an eye on because Ryan Howard makes Kentucky go. Kentucky has been challenged to come into this game with that killer mentality, to be aggressive. That's something that Kyra Elzy has preached to her team nonstop over the last couple of days.
If there's anybody that understands what you have to come into Thompson Bowling Arena mindset with, it's Kyra Elzy, because she played here and she played alongside Kelly Harper. They were teammates.
And assistant coach Nia Butts also played at Tennessee. Kentucky just 6 seconds. Howard will take the 3. Kiki McKinney on the rebound, and Kentucky gets a second chance. McKinney for 3. She's a weapon, the Knoxville native.
Her offense has grown. She has moved more to a perimeter stretch 4 position and been very efficient knocking down those shots.
Tennessee with a big lineup. We're keeping an eye on paint points. That's something that we're always looking at for Tennessee, but that could be key in this game. Chastity Patterson whistled for her first foul. There's Burrell going to the paint. Gives it up to Jordan Horston, the sophomore point guard. Marta Suarez, the freshman, on the putback.
We talked about paint points for Tennessee and also rebounds, creating second chance opportunities. In Kentucky's last game against Auburn, Auburn out-rebounded Kentucky, and Tennessee is much taller than the Auburn Tigers.
Tennessee 11th in the nation in rebounds per game. They average 46 rebounds per game. Howard with the steal. Short on the layup.
Not expecting the length of Jordan Horston to get that block.
Nia Davis, big time 3.
When SEC season hit, Renia Davis locked in. She started out slow, but ever since the SEC games have begun, she has been that contributor, that go-to player the Lady Vols need.
Renia Davis already 5 double-doubles on the season. She was a rebound shy of 1 against UConn on Thursday. This is Olivia Owens for 2. And there's a rebound for Davis.
So keep an eye on Davis. When Davis is aggressive on the glass and then offensively cutting and moving offensively.
7 straight points for Tennessee thanks to Tamari Key.
Paint points again, using the length.
Kentucky does have a bigger post presence this season, but it's still short when it comes to facing the height of Tennessee inside.
Probably say that about most teams that face Tennessee. They're going to be a little bit shorter on that one. You look at Renia Davis there. Even though Kiki McKinney had a hand up, Renia Davis said, see the 3, be the 3.
Yeah, Renia Davis's numbers up in SEC play. She's really settled in, averaging 17.5 points per game and doing it very efficiently.
When you look at that, 56% from the floor, and Kelly Harper talked about, it's about moving Renia Davis around. You don't want her just to be settling for jumpers, jump shots. Keep her active and as part of the offense, moving.
Blair Green. She's led Kentucky in scoring the last 2 games, short on the 3 attempt. Burrell. trouble. And Tamari Key coughs it up. Kentucky will turn you over. They force about 17.5 turnovers per game. Patterson.
Right now, it looks as if Kentucky is quick shooting the basketball, not really getting what they want offensively. They find they're open, but it's the shot Tennessee's allowing them to take, not the shots they want.
Okay, Davis with a step around. Tennessee has now scored 9 straight. Kentucky's missed its last 5 shots. It'll stay with the Wildcats. Kyra Elsie gave us a couple of keys for this game. She wanted to make it a track meet. Kentucky is really good at pushing pace, but also she wanted to try to keep Tennessee off balance, throwing at some different defenses at them throughout the game.
Well, when she was talking about pushing with pace, in order to do that, you've either got to turn teams over or you have got to out-rebound your opponent. And right now, that's just a tall task going against Tennessee.
Yeah, literally, it is a tall task. Tennessee has out-rebounded Kentucky 8-2 so far. Tamari Key with a hand in her face. 11 straight points now for Tennessee.
And the size, I love it when the big girl knows where she is in the lane and she finds
game to watch.
Well, it went back and forth, and Tennessee making their run in that second half. I really thought that the Lady Vols, they had a chance. But listen, you look at what Tennessee has done this year. After they lost to West Virginia, they came back and won 90-53 over Furman. After the loss to Georgia, they came back and won 82-56 over Alabama. So that could mean wreak a little trouble for the Wildcats today.
Well, Tennessee already looks to be in rare form. They are out-rebounding Kentucky 8-2, and paint points, they've got 6 points in the paint already. Kentucky has struggled to score the basketball. They've hit 1 of their last 8 shots. This is Robin Benton, the transfer from Arkansas at the free throw line. Her brother, of course, Inky Johnson, who played at Tennessee.
Now Kentucky pulling out their 1-2-2 zone press. Really, it's a delay. Take time off the clock. But you check out Robin Benton. Normally off the ball screen, you would look to attack, get a little closer, but does she? No. She pulls up at the free throw line because she's got to pull up for that jumper before the length of Tennessee can affect that shot.
And she's one of several transfers who have made a big impact for Kentucky this season. Inside to Tamari Key, swatted away by Dreana Edwards, another one of those transfers, started her career at Utah.
And Tennessee doing a nice job of not just forcing the post players, their bigs inside to just score with their back to the basket, but moving them. So when you're moving and you have that size advantage, more times than not, you're going to get the easy 2 or get yourself to the free throw line.
Yeah, Edwards was whistled for the foul. Here's Tamari Key, who has really amped her game up over the last 4 games. She's been in double figures. Hadn't reached double figures before that this season.
The biggest difference that I have seen in Tamari Key's game this year as opposed to her freshman year is a lot of times you play a little bit too fast as a freshman and you're going to score before you even find the rim. She's playing more with a post patience inside, finding the defense, finding the rim, and then going to finish.
Bringing over 12 points over her last 4 games. That's going to be an illegal screen, and the foul will be on Olivia Owens. Kelly Harper's in her 2nd season as Tennessee's head coach, does not have a win over Kentucky just yet. It wouldn't be sweet to get it against one of her former teammates, Kyra Elsie, who is now Kentucky's head coach.
And not only a former teammate, Kyra Elsie, but they're good friends. They talk often throughout the season. And Kyra Elsie said, I want to see Tennessee win. Well, except on the days they're playing Kentucky.
Yeah. But not today, if you're Kyra Elsie. Kelly Harper in her second season, leading her alma mater. Of course, did amazing things in her 6 seasons at Missouri State before making the trip over to Rocky Top.
Kelly, Kyra, and Nia Butts, who is on Kyra's staff, they won back-to-back national championships together at the University of Tennessee.
Yeah, we were asking Kyra, what's it going to be like when you step back into that building for the first time as the head coach? And she said, you know, it hit her yesterday morning as she was packing up her stuff, getting ready to go to practice and then make the trip to Knoxville, that, yeah, she's coming back not just as an assistant, but as a head coach of a program.
Well, I remember the first time I got to play Tennessee as a head coach. All those memories come back. You know how intimidating it is when you look at that Tennessee across the jersey. And when you know what to prepare for, doesn't make it easier, but at least it's something you can adjust to.
Chastity Patterson with the steal and score. Patterson first in the nation in steals. She's got 56 on the season.
She's got quick hands. Her anticipation it's remarkable.
Walker. It'll be Kentucky ball.
You watch Chastity Patterson with her defense down in a stance, and she looks, if you leave the basketball exposed, whoop, she gonna get it and be gone the other direction.
Kentucky's hit its last 3 shots.
Ray Burrell giving Ryan Howard no room.
Howard the step back. Tennessee has missed its last 5 shots after an 11-point run.
Tennessee doesn't recognize Chastity Patterson is guarding Renia Davis. What a size advantage Tennessee has.
Kick ball by Jasmine Massengill.
So you look at Chastity Patterson coming over to Renia Davis. Look at the height differential.
So Tennessee will inbound. And they make the switch. Jasmine Massengill now guarding her former teammate Renia Davis. Davis with 7.
Yeah, all day long. You can move Renia Davis around. You just look at who's defending her, because the guards for Kentucky just give up so much in length.
McKinney almost traveled, gets it to Patterson, who fires a pass down low to Olivia Owens.
Olivia Owens battling inside when Tamari Key bites on the dribble by Kiki McKinney. Olivia Owens still stays inside to gain that advantage down low.
Chastity Patterson just picked up her 2nd foul for Kentucky. Jordan Walker gets the first. Here's our big Monday games on ESPN and the app. Number 13, Virginia. At the top of the ACC, they host Syracuse at 7. Then we head to the Big 12 for number 12, Texas Tech, taking on number 14, West Virginia in Morgantown. Remember, Texas Tech, they've had their last 2 Big 12 games postponed, so it's a little bit of a break before they get set for West Virginia, who beat K-State yesterday. Ryan Howard back in the game for Kentucky, just 3 points. Is 1 for 6 now from the field. She averages about 20 points per game. There's a travel on Burrell.
Well, and Ryan Howard is settling for a lot of perimeter shots. She's 1 for 6, 1 for 4 from the three-point line. She's so crafty with the basketball. She doesn't have to settle for threes, though that's a strong part of her game.
Kiki McKinney in and out. Foul underneath. It's on Destiny Salary of Tennessee. Massengill very off balance on the shot. Tennessee won't have time to throw up a shot, but it's the Lady Vols at the end of the first 10 minutes leading 18-12.
Kyra Elsie, Nia Butts, and Kelly Harper, whether they're talking together or separately, when they refer back to that time, they talk about the confidence that they had when they stepped on the court. We even asked Kelly Harper about the days of when she played Connecticut, and she said, I'm not going to downplay it and say that wasn't a big game, but she said for us, every game was a big game. They prepared the same way. It was that competitive, strong mentality instilled in them from Pat Summitt.
Yeah, and they've taken that to their teams. I mean, these are fiery, tough head coaches, and it's always fun to get to chat with them before these games.
And you watch Nia Butts on the sideline. She's up as much as Kyra Elsie. I think she plays just about every defensive set.
Here comes Kentucky. Tennessee has done a really good job on Ryan Howard. Ray Burrell has been on her, and Howard just 1 of 6 from the field. This is just her second shot attempt in the paint, and it goes in.
Well, and what did she do? She had Tamari Key in the ball screen action. She knew Key wasn't going to come out with a hard head. She was going to stay in the paint, and she pulled up just like Chastity Patterson did, or Robin Benton did, right at the free throw line area before the shot blocker could get to her.
I had the chance to watch Tennessee's practice yesterday from up in the stands at Thompson Bowling, and it was nonstop. Where is number 10? Are you aware on defense where number 10 is? Everybody needs to guard number 10, talking about Ryan Howard.
Well, in this broadcast, I'm always watching when Kentucky's on offense. Where is number 10?
Yeah.
But you watch Ryan Howard off the ball screen. Owen sets a good screen on Ray Burrell, and before Tamari Key can come up, step up to get her hand extended, Ryan Howard knocks down the jumper.
Howard made her return last game against Auburn after missing the Vanderbilt game with an ankle injury. Appeared to be moving around okay in that game, and again today in shoot-around before this game.
But how about after that game, Kyra Elsie went into the locker room and told her team, I'm proud of the win, but I'm not pleased with the lack of intensity and energy that you brought. She later talked to Ryan Howard because Ryan was kind of solemn, and Ryan just said, I got you, and then got on the bus. And you knew that the message was delivered, and when your captain gets it, you're pretty dang sure the rest of your team got it as well.
Tennessee went on an 11-0 run in that first quarter, but now it's just a 2-point game. Tatiana Wyatt gets the rebound.
So far in this second quarter, I'm sorry, Courtney, but the difference is the second chance opportunities. Tennessee's not getting those offensive rebounds like they did in the first quarter.
Yeah, Tennessee came out dominant on the glass. Remember, Tennessee has out-rebounded every opponent this season, including UConn on Thursday.
Right now, Tennessee has a 7-rebound advantage, so let's keep an eye on that. Can Kentucky close the gap?
Olivia Owens with the offensive rebound. It will stay with Kentucky off of Tennessee last.
Can't say enough about what a contribution it is to have Olivia Owens and Kyra Elsie. What she loves about her, she loves contact. She loves the physicality inside. So not only does she bring height, she brings strength to the Wildcats.
Transferred in from Maryland, spent a couple of seasons there.
Oh, that's good defense. Good hands by Jordan Walker.
She just took it right away from Robin Benton. Kentucky will take this one.
Walker just keeps her eye on the basketball there. She just went all ball, got both hands there, was able to take it and head the other direction.
Kentucky with 3 turnovers, Tennessee with 6. Ray Burrell still on Ryan Howard. Marta Suarez called for the foul. That was something that Tennessee worked a lot on in practice yesterday when Ryan Howard comes off that screen at the top of the key to hedge out and try to slow her down.
Tamari Key has Dre Edwards down low with the height advantage.
Looking for the back door on Davis. Tennessee still has not scored in the second quarter.
I know Tennessee wants to keep Rennia Davis involved, but you got to go with what the defense gives you, and the advantage is Key on Edwards. I mean, she gives up at least almost a half a foot.
And Key hasn't missed a shot yet. She's 2 for 2. Running out of time, Massengill. 5 straight misses for Kentucky. Dreonna Edwards pokes it out of the hands of Tamari Key and finishes on the other end.
Well, Tennessee trying to give the ball to Key at the elbow against Edwards. Just slide her down to the block. Look at the height advantage Tamari Key has.
Ray Burrell for 3.
Keep an eye on Ryan Howard.
It's going to be a turnover. Tennessee will take it. Ray Burrell has been so consistent for Tennessee.
Well, when they're struggling to score inside, the safety net that
Wildcats are known for. Tennessee on top 21-18, under 5 to go here in the second quarter.
Kentucky has changed their defense now to a 1-2-2. Well, really, it's a 3-2 with as far out as the top line is coming.
Suarez with the turnaround. Kyra Elsie told us that Kentucky was going to change up its defenses to try to keep Tennessee off balance and keep them having to adjust offensively.
When you look at Coach Landers and Rebecca talking about turnovers in the studio, and I think that's a way to keep Tennessee off balance. And a lot of times teams that can build that confidence from your offense instead of the other way around, that can get your offense going.
Ray Burrell, and Kentucky's going to call a timeout. That's 7 straight points for Tennessee. No, sorry, it wasn't a timeout. Kiki McKinney is injured as she is limping off over to the Kentucky bench. We'll keep an eye on her.
Now, Tennessee, they brought this zone against Connecticut, trying to trap the point guard, speed you up, force you into really a quick shot.
Kentucky worked on getting through this defense this morning and shoot around, but they're going to give the ball to the Lady Vols.
We're changing up. We talked about Kentucky changing up the defense. The Lady Vols changing up the defense a little bit. And the rotation there as Dreonna Edwards rotates on the baseline, just taking out the timing of the Kentucky offense.
Tennessee's hit its last 3 shots. Ray Burrell trying to go over. Owens gets her own rebound. Jordan Walker from long range. Blair Green on the baseline. Off of Tennessee.
Here's the problem I see with Kentucky's offense is to start the break, Ryan Howard. They're looking for her, and when she gets the ball first, what is she looking for? To give it up to somebody else. That means it's limiting shot opportunities for Ryan Howard.
Olivia Owens and 1 coming.
Underneath, out of bounds, just the slip behind Marta Suarez. And all she has to do is score over Walker. It's not a difficult task.
That's the second foul on Marta Suarez. But going back to your point about Ryan Howard, Kyra Elsie has told us she is an elite passer. She makes great decisions, but that's not what they're asking her to do right now. They want her to kick it into high gear and score the basketball.
I think it gives the rest of her team confidence when she's scoring, and then they can score around that. When she is more of a facilitator, I think there's a lot of question marks for Kentucky.
Inside to Damari Key. The double team comes. Renaya Davis blocked. Howard on the trail.
But you got to give touches for Ryan Howard. Now look at this mismatch. Renaya Davis and Chastity Patterson. Why is Davis not cutting or working in the paint?
There she is crashing the boards. But we've talked about it. Renaya Davis is at her best when they're moving her around, when she's cutting to the basket.
Yeah, see, right now, she's with the ball looking for getting it to someone else. She needs to give it up and then get it back.
Patterson, step back. Chastity Patterson with a couple points. Kentucky, though, shooting just 30% from the field.
I think both coaches are going to go in at halftime and make some offensive adjustments and look at things they can take advantage of.
Olivia Owens called for her second. This is our Super Tuesday doubleheader on ESPN and the app. We start in the SEC at 7 Eastern with number 18 Alabama hosting Kentucky. Then we head to the ACC, Georgia Tech, who almost beat Virginia yesterday. They're going to be at Cameron Indoor squaring off against Duke. That's coming up on Tuesday. Davis was open, but the pass went through her hands. Tennessee still has time. Burrell elevates.
Patterson didn't recognize how much time's on the clock. They need to hold for the last shot.
Howard trying to create free throw line. Jump ball, and Tennessee has the possession arrow. They'll have 6.9 seconds.
But Ray Burrell has done a terrific job on Ryan Howard, and they're battling on the glass.
Ray Burrell once again leading Tennessee. 8 points for Burrell in a border battle on Rocky Top. Tennessee leads at the half here in Knoxville, 27-22. Yeah, Howard averages about 20 points per game, just 5 points and 2 of 11 from the field in that first half for the reigning SEC Player of the Year.
But Courtney, you and I have seen it. When it's Howard time, some people want to say Ryan time. When she heats up, she can take over a basketball game.
Yeah, Kentucky doesn't care what you call it as long as it happens when she takes over. Tennessee goes inside early to Tamari Key. They definitely have a size advantage there.
And that time, Tennessee did a nice job. Don't give Tamari Key the ball at the elbow when she has that height advantage. Get her going to the basket. Give her that scoring opportunity.
Kiki McKinney back in the game. Tweaked her knee in that first half, but she's fine and back in.
But you watch Tamari Key rolling to the basket. You can throw over the top of the defense when you've got the target of 6'5". That's an easy 2 for the Lady Vols.
Tamari Key with 8 points already tonight, looking for her 5th game in double figures.
I like the progression of this sophomore. Tamari Key continues to mature and is really embracing the physical play, especially in the SEC.
Well, we've seen the mentality change for these Tennessee post players. Talking about Kasiyahna Kushkituah, too. I mean, they want the basketball. They understand that Kelly Harper wants to run things through the post.
The other thing that not only the physical presence of the post game, but the guards around them are understanding. Kelly Harper told us why she's calling offenses, what they're looking for. And when those two things come together, what the coach wants and the players understand it, then the offense works together.
What a difference your 2 can make. McKinney in traffic. Had 3 Tennessee defenders on her.
Again, Tamari Key with the mismatch with Dre Edwards, and then able to just catch and don't put it on the floor. Just the drop step, little baby hook for Key right there. That's a strong move.
4 seconds on the shot clock. McKinney off to the left.
That possession, Ryan Howard, no touch. The offense for Kentucky has got to go through number 10, Ryan Howard.
Tamari Key on cleanup duty. She's up to 12 points. Well, Tennessee leads it here in Knoxville 33-22. Tamari Key has all 6 of Tennessee's points here in the third quarter.
the dominance inside, using this height advantage that Tennessee has, and Tamari Key has done a nice job. The development, look, find the rim once you get the basketball and then finish, and that's exactly what number 20 has done. That's a big reason why Tennessee is leading points in the paint, 20-12.
Tamari Key in double figures for the 5th straight game. These last 5 games are the only games this season that she's been in double figures, and she's been able to keep that consistency. That's big for Tennessee.
Well, it's better to bring it late than not at all. It didn't happen early, but now it's coming around for that sophomore, and that could mean big things for the Lady Vols.
Averaging about 3 more points in SEC play than she has on her season numbers. Meanwhile, Kentucky's got to get Ryan Howard involved. She's only hit 2 shots today. McKinney. Rebound by Howard, and she'll go to the line.
You watch the defense on Ryan Howard. That last series, when he came off a double screen, Marta Suarez switched off. There's not going to be a time when Ryan Howard comes off a screen that she's left alone. But then both defenders, Suarez and Burrell, left Howard, but Howard passed up the basketball. She needs to keep the ball until somebody stops her. She needs to be that offensive threat.
Howard back in her home state, of course, from Cleveland, Tennessee, not far away from Knoxville at all. And Kentucky has won the last 3 games against Tennessee, the longest streak for the Cats in the series history. And it touched Howard last. It'll be Tennessee ball.
Well, Ryan Howard was recruited by Kyra Elzy when Kyra was at Tennessee. And then to Kentucky. She also recruited Jasmine Massengale, Kyra Elzy did, while she was at Tennessee. And Massengale decided to go to Tennessee, but it was Ryan Howard that decided to come to Kentucky because she wanted to beat Tennessee. And that's what she's been able to do.
Yeah, they were able to take them down last year in the SEC tournament. It's Renaya Davis on the perimeter. Pure shot. That's her 6th double-double this season. She's got 34 on her career.
Had struggled early from the three-point line, so I know she's thrilled to see that ball go through the ring.
Tipped out off of Tennessee.
When you got this much room, you got to pull the trigger. She still has that confidence. Holds the release. Nice follow through. Knocks it down.
She's the 2nd leading returning scorer in the SEC. I bet you can guess who the first was. That's Ryan Howard on Kentucky.
You expect those two to go head-to-head every time they meet to put on a show. Ryan Howard needs to get turned up. You're just watching Renaya Davis play. When she's going to the glass, when she's rebounding, she's active, you know it's going to be a big day for number 0.
She already has 13 rebounds.
That's what I was looking for. If she's active, going to the glass, that means she's got an aggressive mindset.
Robin Benton did a good job of keeping Renaya Davis from getting open.
I just wonder if Kentucky, on the break, again, looking for Ryan Howard with the basketball. But right now, maybe look for Chastity Patterson to push. Let Ryan Howard get down and make things happen after you get across half court.
Yeah, Howard has missed her last 5 shots. And Tennessee just passed its way through that Kentucky defense.
You know, the length of Tennessee. Remember Holly Rowe asking Gino Auriemma, what do you do? Because you're losing the battle of the boards. And he said, well, we're not going to go in the locker room and grow. So You know, it's a matter of, you just have to understand with their length and dominance on the glass, you got to put a body on somebody. Otherwise, they're going to just dominate the rebounding.
Finally, Kentucky is able to hit a three-pointer. They had missed 7 straight. That one coming by Chastity Patterson. Kyra Elzy challenged her Kentucky team to come out with that killer instinct, that mentality. I don't think we've seen it just yet.
Yeah, she was so fired up yesterday. I was ready to play with how she wanted her team to come in to play today. But, you know, at times you can get overhyped. She understands the importance of coming in and playing in Thompson-Boling Arena. It can be a little bit too much sometimes.
Kentucky will have the ball when we come back. Ryan Howard just 5 points on the afternoon. Especially for Massengill, who started her career at Tennessee.
Well, it's more than just the home state. It's the University of Tennessee, the tradition of winning. And I can remember I went to Vanderbilt, and I was from only 30 minutes from Thompson-Boling Arena. And you get so amped up. You want to win it so bad. Sometimes you can get locked up mentally or physically, or either you're trying too hard, going too fast, and, you know, that can be an issue that comes up as well.
Kiki McKinney, you see there, number 3 in blue. She's from maybe 5 minutes away, played at Fulton High School here in Knoxville, Tennessee. She's back. She's the 4th member of Kentucky's team that's from Tennessee.
It's all about bragging rights, because you know when you go home back in the state of Tennessee, you want to talk about you were able to pull off a win, but right now it's the Lady Vols that are in control.
Robin Benton with the layup. She's got a Tennessee connection too. Her brother Inky Johnson played football at Tennessee. Ray Burrell, missed consistency.
Playing with confidence, you know, even though Tennessee came up short against UConn, I saw a different mentality. They're moving in the right direction under Kelly Harper.
Robin Benton answers with a 3.
We just wondered.
Kelly Harper told us that after every one of these losses, she's seen progress the next time out. She's seen progress the next day in practice. These players are absorbing that, and they're learning from those losses.
Well, watching film, and the question I was going to ask is, what has Tennessee learned, especially after the Georgia game? I think Georgia was down as much as 17 and came back to win that game. So right now, with the lead that Tennessee has over Kentucky, now can they put their foot on the gas and not allow Kentucky to get back in this game?
Kentucky has won the last 3 meetings with Tennessee, including knocking them out of the SEC tournament last year. Nia Davis is all over the boards. That's her 14th rebound.
You see Jordan Horson up top going, wait, give it back to me. And she's understanding. You need to get a reset so you can get a good shot. That's a good one right there.
Tamari Key just looks different than she did last season.
When you look, just the post up inside, and again, I see the confidence from a post player when she catches it. She's not looking to put the ball on the floor with one hard dribble to figure things out. She's aggressive in catching and going to score.
She's become a better practice player. And remember, Tennessee had that shutdown for about a week. The good news for Tamari Key was she was able to get in the gym and safely work with the assistant coaches. And that was some really critical development time for her. Here's our next Star-Stud Wednesday NBA doubleheader on ESPN and the ESPN app. LeBron and the Lakers are in Philly to take on Joel Embiid and the Sixers at 7:30 Eastern. Then D'Angelo Russell and the Timberwolves square off against Steph and the Warriors. Our coverage starts with Stephen A's pregame Sports Center at 7.
You're talking about the individual workouts with Tamari Key. Coaches may be learning that you do so much game prep, you do so much scouting report, And sometimes the individual instruction goes aside when it's not the COVID situation. So maybe coaches start looking at, if I can start developing players, we can cut down a little bit on that scout preparation.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a consistent thing we've heard from all the coaches, is that they're having to focus a lot more time on themselves, because you don't know who you're going to play until you actually tip off in the game.
I mean, we've had a couple of teams that have traveled all the way to the city where they were going to play the team, and then the game is canceled. So it just really you have to shift your mindset. But if your mindset is totally on you, then that's okay. You just take it to the next game.
Yeah, Tennessee was one of those teams. They were taped up and ready to play Texas in Austin, and that game was canceled. And then remember, this matchup with Tennessee and Kentucky was originally supposed to be played on. We were just looking at some of the numbers. Tamari Key for Tennessee has as many points as Kentucky does here in the third quarter. She's got 9. The Cats have 9.
I just remember last season and Kelly Harper just about to pull her hair out to get her team to understand to get the ball inside of the post players. Now she's got the post players who want the basketball, and the guards are getting it to them. You look at the work Kasiyahna Kushkituah is doing early.
Suarez jump ball. Possession arrow pointed to Tennessee. How big was Marta Suarez against UConn? She had one of her best games. 10 points, hit 2 threes in that game.
When I watch Marta Suarez, I have to remind myself she's just a freshman. She plays with such maturity on the court.
Well, I mean, what does it say about her that she's come to Tennessee and started every game?
You know what is really, I had a chance to talk to Marta Suarez and ask her about the recruiting process because she's from Spain, and she said the person that was helping her mentioned to her that Tennessee was interested. And so she didn't know a whole lot about the tradition and history of Tennessee, so she Googled it and then found out about Pat Summitt and the championships, and she asked the question, you mean Tennessee wants to talk to me? And she has just really found it such an honor to be able to come here and wear the orange and white.
Well, it's so cool when players dive into the history of their program. Jordan Horston, who's bringing up the ball up the floor right now, last season, her freshman year, she took one of Pat Summitt's books out of the coaching staff's office and asked if she could borrow it because she wanted to read more about the amazing woman who built this program and did so much for women's basketball.
Well, I have found players that invest in knowing the history, in knowing what came before them that has allowed what they're participating in. They play, that becomes their why. They play with a little bit of extra motivation and determination. I mean, that's how Kelly Harper played when she was Kelly Jolly, when she played for Pat Summitt.
Ryan Howard picked up her second foul for Kentucky. Jordan Walker over to Kushkituah. Third foul on Chastity Patterson.
And Kasiyahna Kushkituah, ever since that knee brace has disappeared, she's been a different player. She's playing with great energy, came in from this last offseason in terrific shape. She's been a force inside for the Lady Vols.
I was kind of surprised to see that she only had 1 shot against UConn on Thursday, but Connecticut did a really good job inside on Tennessee.
Yeah, she has that presence, though, and I think Kelly Harper addressed with her. She has got to really make her presence felt. You can't go through a game, not when you're a post player for the Lady Vols, with just 1 shot attempt. That either means you're not getting the ball or you're not going to the glass.
Horston. Turn around. Kushkituah, you bet she's going to the glass. 8 straight points for Tennessee. They've outscored Kentucky in the third quarter 22-9.
They have flexed their muscles. They have been strong inside. Kasiyahna Kushkituah said, give me that. And then she finishes. Louisville Louisville in trouble a little bit against Wake Forest going on today, and LSU took South Carolina to the wire.
Yeah, you saw Michigan on there shutting down. I mean, what a show Naz Hillman put on the other night against Ohio State. 50 points in that game. But as we said, Michigan, the whole athletic department, we're not just talking about women's basketball. They have put everything on pause for 14 days. Everybody's kind of looking towards the tournament. Remember, you have to have 13 games under your belt. It is possible to apply for a waiver or let one of your conference tournament games count towards that, but you just never know if you're going to play your next game or not.
Well, and the NCAA has, the initial requirement is you have to have 13 games. And now as each day ticks off that gets closer and closer to the conference tournament to the end, the value that is placed on each game.
Yeah. Tennessee was not going to have a game today because Vanderbilt canceled its season. They were supposed to meet the Commodores, as Vernia Davis has a career high with 16 rebounds. She's got the double-double with 10 points.
You had to believe after coming off the loss to Connecticut, regardless of the numbers that Vernia Davis put in that game, she was going to have better ones today because she has such a great relationship with Coach Kelly Harper, and I believe she not only plays hard for the program, her teammates, but she also is playing hard for her head coach.
She's now tied for 5th all-time at Tennessee with 35 career double-doubles. Kushkituah bounces it in. 20-point lead for Tennessee.
The post play for Tennessee makes them, I believe, a contender. Can they get to the top of the SEC, and how far can they go in the NCAA tournament?
And one coming. Ray Burrell.
The future is bright for the Lady Vols. Not only the inside play, but then you have that hustle, that effort from Ray Burrell running in transition to go along with Vernia Davis. They're putting all the pieces together.
Ryan Howard has continued to struggle, just 6 points. We'll see her at the free throw line, but she is 2 of 15 from the field.
And I see a little bit of the look from Ryan Howard you saw her freshman year. A little bit of frustration, especially being here in Knoxville, Tennessee, in her home state. She wanted to perform a lot better than the way things are going today.
She's had double-figure points in every game but one. Again, just 7 points this afternoon. Another rebound for Tennessee. Davis just adding to that career high.
Tennessee able to play Kushkituah and Tamari Key together.
Travel on Burrell.
She got herself in trouble right there. I think that time trying to do a little bit too much and talking about you have Key and Kushkituah, put them in a high-low situation. Wait till the lane opens up before you go with that drive.
Go swinging around to Patterson. Key from the floor passes it up to Ray Burrell. Davis steps into it, buries it.
Renaya Davis had all day to wind that up and knock it down.
And Kentucky also hasn't gotten any production from Blair Green, who has led them in scoring the last 2 games. It's going to be a foul on Kushkituah.
Watch Renaya Davis. She has time to catch, write a letter, take a note, pull the trigger and knock it down. And then Tamari Key just continuing to exercise the defensive presence that she has for the Lady Vols, getting the block inside.
What's the biggest change you've seen in this Tennessee team from that team early on in the season that lost 1 to West Virginia?
I think they're understanding the roles of each other, and now you understand your individual roles and then how they're connected to each other. They're playing together.
Kushkituah rejects McKinney. If that's not playing together.
That's exactly what I talked about, the roles. Push in transition, knowing that your big girl's going to keep running with you and understanding to make the extra pass.
The ball movement has gotten so much better for Tennessee as this season has gone on. There's Key. Yeah, they've realized they've got an advantage down low.
You know, the other thing I've seen is the offensive execution. Not only are they getting to the right spots, but they're getting there with a sense of urgency. They're not just walking into positioning, but moving with a purpose. And that time, Key buried down low inside to get the easy 2.
Tennessee is already over their average in paint points. They're at 36. They average they average 39 points per game. They've had 34 or more points in the paint every game. And the guards are actively looking to get the ball inside. That helps.
When your offense comes from the defense, you had Kushkituah that got the block, reward.
Remember, we saw Stanford go down last week to Colorado, which moved Louisville up. Keep an eye on that game. But in this game, it's been Renaya Davis. 20 rebounds, the first time in 9 years that Tennessee has had a player with 20 rebounds.
What'd that tell you at the open? You get me some Renaya Davis rebounds, she's going to bring the rest of her game. If she's hunting to get on the glass, then good things are going to happen.
Yeah, Renaya Davis has 20 rebounds. Kentucky's entire team has 22 rebounds.
And there, right then, Renaya Davis moving within the offense to get the basketball, gets the 2.
Meanwhile, Ryan Howard, who averages about 20 points per game, only 7 points today, 2 of 14 from the field.
And a lot of that has to do with Ray Burrell. Ray Burrell, we talked so much about her offense for Tennessee, but she had the defensive assignment of staying with Ryan Howard, and she got the help of her teammates. The Lady Vols are connected. Anytime that Ryan Howard cut to the basket, there were going to be at least two Lady Vols around her.
Well, they didn't have a choice, because watching practice yesterday, was brought up almost every time they practiced anything defensively. Kelly Harper would stop practice and say, "Where is number 10? You need to be aware of where number 10, talking about Ryan Howard, is at all times." And it's not just the person guarding her. It is all 5 of you.
Well, the respect that Ryan Howard gets from her opponents, it's almost like Michael Jordan rules. Whenever Jordan got the ball, everybody needed to know where number 23 was on the court.
Tennessee in trouble. Patterson with the steal. Kentucky's pressure paying off. Patterson will try another 3. It's short. Tamari Key
Big girl. First it was inside, now it's outside. The expansion of the sophomore of Tamari Key.
A career high for Key with 19 points. Kiki McKinney going to the free throw line.
Tamari Key on the trail, added this to her game with style. That's it.
That's double-figure points for Tamari Key in her last 5 games, and she will take a seat for Tennessee. 19 points, a career high, 8 of 10 from the field.
It is so nice to watch players mature into their game. When Tamari Key came in last year as a freshman, almost like a baby fawn. And now she has found her footing. And now she is really turning into that thoroughbred that Kelly Harper wants at Tennessee.
Another takeaway for Kentucky. Patterson this time will capitalize.
You didn't even catch what I did right there. Fawn, thoroughbred, they're playing Kentucky.
A fawn is a deer.
Oh, gosh, it is.
Do you mean a filly?
I meant a filly, a colt to a thoroughbred. I got my animals confused.
We changed animals in the middle of that analogy.
My bad, Lyles. But you stuck with me, though. I appreciate it.
I got you. I knew what you meant.
And playing Kentucky after the loss of Connecticut, we've pointed out that Tennessee, after a loss, they have been terrific, and they have been fantastic today against Kentucky.
Tennessee used a really big third quarter, 22-9. Advantage over Kentucky in that third quarter, and they have held Ryan Howard to 9 points. Kushkituah is coming in the fourth quarter and giving Tennessee some great minutes.
And not only is Kushkituah going after rebounds, she's snatching them out of the air. She is commanding those rebounds.
Howard took a hard fall.
Yeah, but Ray Burrell has really made it a nightmare for Ryan Howard all day long.
Burrell takes the seat with 13 points, 7 rebounds, but her defense has been huge. Here's our big Monday games on ESPN and the app. Number 13, Virginia sits atop the ACC and hosts Syracuse at 7 Eastern. Then we head to the Big 12 for the matchup of the night. Number 12, Texas Tech, taking on number 14, West Virginia in Morgantown. That's coming up on Big Monday.
Kentucky bringing full court pressure, trapping, but Tennessee has been able to handle it with ease. Jordan Horston, just a little too much sauce on that one. Right idea, just not able to make the connection.
Kentucky takes it right back. Easy bucket for Robin Benton.
I'll tell you, both these coaches, Kelly Harper is going to go back and watch this film, and she is going to congratulate her team on their ability to do two things. One, take Ryan Howard out of their offense, out of the Kentucky offense. And two, offensively, getting the ball in the paint and having fantastic dominant play from their big girls, even inside. Even Emily Saunders getting involved in the action.
That's 42 paint points for Tennessee over their average. They have really bought into getting the basketball inside, and it's paying off.
I think Kentucky's going to have to go back and look at where their offense was not flowing. I have seen Kentucky play better and more fluidly on the offensive end, and Tennessee was able to really take Kentucky out of what they wanted to do.
Now, Kentucky's just shooting 28% from the field. They came into this game having shot 45% or better in 9 of their last 10 games.
Yeah, I think Kentucky's going to have to look at when you have, that's a nice take by Jordan Horston. But when so much attention is paid to taking Ryan Howard out of the offense, then how do you get your offense scoring, and still how do you keep her involved? Two teams that are going to be vying for one of those top 4 spots in the seeding for the SEC tournament.
You talk about crashing the glass. If we see that Tennessee-Texas A&M game, there's going to be a lot of rebounding, a lot of fighting for the basketball.
Woo! You got India Jones, Sierra Johnson battling with Kasiyahna Kushkituah and Tamari Key.
And Renaya Davis, who had, 20 rebounds today.
Oh yeah. I didn't mean to leave her out.
Yeah.
Sorry, Renaya.
Benton will throw up another 3 from the corner. But this is going to be a win for Tennessee. They had dropped their last 3 games to the Kentucky Wildcats. That losing streak is over to the team from just north of Knoxville. For the 4th time this season, Tennessee has over 50 rebounds in a basketball game, and they do it against the number 12 team in the nation and help them get the win.
And Kelly Harper's got to be excited. Her team not only got the win against an SEC foe, but also a ranked team.